Hello friends, welcome to SR Physics Academy. Today we are going to discuss about mechanical properties of solids. In this video, we will learn about elastic behavior of solids. First here, what is deforming force? The force which is responsible for the change in size and shape of a body. First, we take a body. Now we apply the external force to the body. After some times, you see that the shape and size of the body changes. This property is known as deforming force. For example, a pencil which is broken by applying force. Here, when an external force is exerted on a pencil, it tends to break into parts. This happens because a pencil is not elastic in nature. Therefore, it does not have a high capacity to handle a large amount of force and pressure. Next is here another second example, bending metal rods. Here, the metal rods, already we know that metals possess a significant amount of elasticity in them. This is the reason that enabled them to be converted in the form of rods and sheets. On applying a mechanical force to a metal rod, it does not break or shatter easily. However, the force might help the metallical element to undergo a change in shape. Hence, a deforming force is said to be present in the metal rod. So here the definition of deforming force is a force which produces a change in configuration of the object on applying it is called deforming force. Next properties here. What is restoring force? The force which is responsible to restore original size and shape is called restoring force. For here, the forces which is responsible to restore original size and shape, we can say that restoring force. For example, when a spring is extended or compressed, the restoring force either pulls or pushes it back towards its equilibrium position. Okay, this force we can say that restoring force. The force which is developed in a body in order to regain its original size and shape after applications of deforming force is called restoring force. Note that deforming force is equal to restoring force. Here, a reason for restoring force. Here, see here, when the deforming force is applied to a solid, the atoms and molecules are displaced from their equilibrium position and the interatomic or intermolecular distance get changed. Okay, as a result of this change in intermolecular separation, the restoring force is set up in the solid. Here, see, these all the elastic behaviors of materials. We take it in a solid. The interatomic molecules bind two or more atoms together, and the atoms occupy the position of stable equilibrium. Okay, this is the stable equilibrium when the deforming force is applied. Okay, here when the deforming force is applied on a body, its atoms are pulled apart or pushed closer. So when the deforming force is removed, the interatomic forces of attraction or repulsion restore the atom to their equilibrium position. If a body regains its original shape and size after the removal of deforming force, It is said to be elastic and the property is called elasticity. The force which changes the size and shape of a body is called deforming force. Now another properties we will discuss here, elasticity and plasticity. Elasticity is the tendency of solid material to return to their original shape after being forces or applied on them. When the force are removed, the object will return to its initial shape and size if the material is elastic. So in other words, we can say that the deformations disappear completely after removal of external forces. Okay, here for example, we can say that elasticity, steel cables, rubber bands, springs are the example of elastic material. Now, so here elasticity is the property of solid material that it gain its original shape and size after the removal of applied force. Okay, that is we can here, that is elasticity. Bodies that show elasticity are called elastic bodies. Same here, this opposite, plasticity is the property of solid material. It does not gain its original shape and size after the removal of applied force. Okay, is it clear now? Here, elasticity, what is elasticity? Elasticity is the property of solid material that it gain its original shape and size after the removal of applied force. Okay, but plasticity is the property of solid material that it does not gain its original shape and size after the removal of applied force. So, what is here plastic bodies? Bodies that show attributes of plasticity, okay, are called bodies. Example of plastic bodies, we know that here wax, clay and plasticine. Some few difference between plasticity and elasticity we discuss here. The body exhibiting elasticity regain its shape and size after the removal of external force. Here the body exhibiting plasticity retains its new shape and size after the removal of the external force. Here regain its shape. Second point, there is a temporary change in dimension of the body on the application of the deforming force. It means if it just, whatever, if you pull the rubber band, it is just temporary changes, okay. But in plasticity, there is a permanent change in dimension of the body on the applications of the deforming force. The internal restoring force is set up inside the body. Here no internal restoring force is set up inside the body or they are very negligible. The ratio of stress corresponding strain produced is constant. Here the ratio of stress to the corresponding strain produces is not constant. Material exhibiting elasticity, that is already we discussed here. Steel, rubber examples. Materials, etc. These are the examples of elasticity, plasticity, PVC, plaster of Paris, wax, clay. These are all the examples of plasticity. So, small questions here. Why steel is more elastic than rubber? Hope you understood. Thanks for watching.